Well, we're trying to go fishing, and these ducks don't seem to want to move, and that squirrel had to get in the way. Look at him, he's just lifting his foot. Come on, duckies. Come on.
Oh, now that one's coming in the road.
Oh my God. I got fish to catch. Come on. This one has to walk back in the road. All right, go that way. They're all males too. I wonder if these are somebody's pets. Come on, Gimpy. He's the old one. He's the grandpa.
Oh God.
He's like, back in my day, I used to get all the females. Now I can't even walk or get it up. All right, thank you guys. Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here, along with my wife Michelle behind the camera right now. And right now it's 80 degrees out. In 2 days it's gonna be back down to 26 to 40 degrees, but that's Wisconsin for you. The weather's nuts. I'm getting out for some brook trout right now, and we're gonna see if we can catch a few before the sun sets. But I was here last week and we caught a few, and I found some fish, so I'm just gonna hit a few locations really quick before the sun goes down, see what happens. I'll be throwing just little tiny size 1 Panther Martin spinners and little tiny hair jig, little woolly bugger jig, 1/64th ounce. I just like dropping that along the edges of the creek because the fish come out and eat it, thinking it's an insect. But let's get out there. We don't have much time. I'm just gonna start with this little woolly bugger jig. Lightweight little buggy looking insect thing. The wind should be nice and cooperative today because it's blowing full speed. Oh man, it's turning into a mess already. That wind is horrible. There's no fish sitting in here. There's no hope at all. Maybe they just want the spinner jigged in their face again. Oh, I just had one. It's like they like the flash. Oh, frog. I just scared a frog into the water. Scared me though. This is a deep bait. Oh, got one. There we go. Because he goes nuts. Oh my God. Nice brook trout. I get the hook out and throw him back. Oh, crap. Almost fell down an animal hole. Oh, there's one. There he is. Ah, you little crapper. You little crapper. 100% sure I'm gonna get one in this spot. This is always a good bet. Just fishing this on a light little ultralight. Oh, there he was. Light little ultralight rod. The 9-foot ultralight rod. With a 4-pound line and a 64th ounce jig. Oh, that was a nice one actually. Oh, little baby brook trout, like Like this big. Just came out and hit it like a minnow. There's a fish. Just saw one. Here, I'm just gonna go right where I know I always get them. It's about to get dark out. I caught this beautiful brook trout just now. Thought I was filming. Guess I wasn't. I just had two muddy rats run across my feet before. Wish I got that on camera because it scared the crap out of me. There's snakes that must have just hatched, crawling everywhere. There is mosquitoes out. It was just freaking winter 2 days ago. Look at that little squirmy bugger. Grass snake. Well, it was a slower day on the water. I lost a couple fish, caught a couple fish, but I'm gonna go through some really useful tips for you guys right now on how to catch trout on the inland streams here in Wisconsin. This is how you catch trout on any stream, any pond, whether they're wild trout, stocked trout, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna show you guys some very effective lures that you all need in your tackle box to catch these fish. To start with, this is something a lot of guys really neglect when they're out on the streams, when they're out on the ponds, are floating jerk baits like the Weckerle Original. I like to use the F5 and the F7 size, 2 to 3 inch models. Some guys like to go up to the 4-inch size, even the 5-inch size. If you're dealing with some big brown trout, some big rainbow trout, even big brook trout, then you can go up in size. But if you want to catch any size trout and even catch the big ones, the 3-inch and the 2-inch size Weckerle is key. I like the black and silver. You guys will see me repeat that a lot on this YouTube page because black and silver is probably the #1 color I like to use when it comes to jerkbait fishing. Black and silver is good with crankbaits, jerkbaits, spoons, spinners. I mean, for all species of fish. It looks like a natural minnow swimming through the water. But I've also done really good with colors that have chartreuse green on them, orange, gold. I mean, you got to experiment sometimes with these trout. They do go after some wacky colors sometimes. But when I'm out on the streams, I'm doing a lot of walking. I like to pack light. Whether or not I'm on the streams, the ponds, the lakes that I'm fishing trout, I'm doing a lot of hiking. And packing light is key. And the key to fishing these trout is keeping it simple. Black and silver, golden brown, just natural colors, things that mimic the minnows, the insects, all that stuff, worms, leeches. I also like carrying a few jointed Weckerles, which are kind of like the other Weckerle I just showed you, but black and silver again. But this one's got a kind of a broken back, has more of a wiggle wobble type action. The trout really like that a lot. And I'll carry that in the 3-inch size, the 2-inch size, and even this 4-inch size. I've caught a lot of big brown trout on that bait. These baits will even work in the Lake Michigan tributaries, the Lake Superior, Lake Erie, all those tributaries that have trout and salmon in them, these baits will catch trout there too. But I'm mainly focusing on inland trout that are out in the driftless region of Wisconsin, all around the country, anywhere there's streams. I'm talking natural trout streams, ponds, stuff like that. That's a smaller size jointed Rapala. Alright, now that I covered floating jerk baits, Rapala originals, and jointed Rapalas, I also like to carry a lot of spinners in size 1, size 2, and size 3 mainly. I don't use baits that are that large for the trout that are inland from Lake Michigan and Lake Superior here in Wisconsin, because you don't deal with a lot of fish that are over 15 inches long. You might get into some streams where you do catch 25-inch trout, but all these baits work there too. I mean, I've caught gigantic 10 to 15 pound steelhead, brown trout on even the smallest lures. So these trout, they hit just about anything and everything. But jerkbaits, inline spinners in size 1, 2, and 3 are really good. I like silver and black. I like silver and white. I like to use gold spinners sometimes, especially if you got a little bit tannic colored, murky, stained water. But I just stick with big pile of spinners here. I just stick with gold, silver. You can use spinners that have hair on the hook and feathers. You can use just plain spinners like you see right here. These are spinners that I make myself. Otherwise, I like buying Mep spinners, Panther Martin spinners, Rooster Tail spinners. They're all good. But I like making my own. It's cheaper, especially if you know someone that can get you the parts for a good price. But Mep spinners are really good. Like I said, the Rooster Tails, it all works. I also like to carry along a small selection of 1/64th to 1/32nd ounce hair jigs, marabou jigs. This is a woolly bugger jig. It's a jig that I like to tie up. But these are really effective, especially when the fish are feeding on insects and leeches, stuff like that. If they're not going after spinners or rapalas, minnows, they usually will go after one of these little tiny 64th to 1/32nd ounce woolly bugger jigs. It's made after the woolly bugger fly pattern, just tied on a jig head basically. But I mean, this is tiny. I can't really explain to you how tiny, but only about 1 inch to 2 inches long for these jigs. Last but not least, I like to carry some small little spoons along with me, like little Acme Cleos, Castmasters. There's a little silver Cleo. Here's another spoon I really like. This is a Mep Cyclops spoon. This is in 1/8 ounce size. Sorry, I wasn't sure what size that was. But this is a tiny little spoon that's absolutely deadly for trout. It's got kind of a bend in the metal body of the spoon, and it has this really cool swimming action. And this bait, much of the time, saves the day when nothing else works. It's like, I always start out with a spinner or a Rapala, something a little bit, you know, that I have a lot of confidence in catching fish and normally does catch fish. But I always have a small selection of spoons on me because you kind of need to switch through different actions, different profiles, different lures, because the trout don't always bite the same thing every day. One day you could be catching them on a fly rod. The next day the fly rod bite completely stops. you throw that spinner out there and you start catching fish again. So just carry a small box with a small selection of baits. Be prepared to do a lot of hiking. Wear some mud boots. If you got some boots for the mud, definitely wear them. Bring some bug spray because of ticks, mosquitoes, all that stuff. And be prepared to get snagged a lot, stuck in trees. Some of these streams that we're catching trout out of are very tiny, as you can see in this video today. I did a lot of walking today. I'm really sore. I actually suffer from back problems, neck issues, migraine headaches. And some of these trips take a lot out of me. That's why I kind of save some of these trips for when I'm feeling a little bit better, when I'm able to get out and really hike, explore. And I've put on a lot of miles trying to find good trout streams. I'm still learning a lot of these streams. I'm learning all about the thousands of trout streams we have here in Wisconsin. Because believe it or not, Wisconsin is considered one of the best places in the whole country for trout. And we have so many streams out west in western Wisconsin near the Mississippi River. Just tons of trout streams. Southeast Minnesota, southwest Wisconsin. Just tons of streams packed in there, called the Driftless region. Beautiful scenery. You have to find out your private property laws, all that stuff. Know where you're walking. Make sure you're not walking on someone's property, but you can go online, look up Wisconsin trout streams, private property, legal access. Just look up keywords like that and you'll find a lot of information where you can and cannot go. But you'll be surprised how many streams here in Wisconsin have pretty damn big trout for a small stream. My biggest trout inland was a 24-inch brown trout. But some of these ponds and rivers, you can catch brook trout that are up to 18 inches long if you're lucky. You can catch 24-inch rainbow trout. But the average size of a lot of these fish on these small streams is about 7 inches up to about 14 inches long. 15-inch trout's a big trout when you're fishing a small body of water. Or if you're fishing for stocked trout, because they don't stock a lot of big ones anymore. Whether you're fishing the park ponds in Milwaukee County, Racine County, or you're fishing stocked trout anywhere. But I hope this information helps you guys. Just carry along a small box of lures, an ultralight rod with like a spinning rod with 4 to 6 pound line, monofilament, and a small selection of lures, and you're good to go for trout. It's basic, it's easy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I gotta get some sleep now. I'm burned out. Take care.